What's going on, everybody? I have another review for you today. This is a 2013 Kia Sportage, and as you can see, I had to do this in the shop today because it is pouring outside, and that's why the vehicle's all wet. But we're going to get through it anyway. So this is a 2013 Kia Sportage SX trim, and it is the all-wheel drive model, as you can see. So with the SX, it's going to be the top-of-the-line one that you can get, and it also has the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo motor that pushes out about 260 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque. It's a big upgrade over their 2.4-liter motor that was kind of lacking for this size SUV. It is a smaller SUV in its class, as you can see. But the SX model, you'll also get the sportier rims and tire setup with the all-wheel drive. It's a good all-wheel drive system for what it is, but for winter travel and icy, snowy roads and stuff like that, it is not the best because of the performance tire setup. Now, like I said, this is the top-of-the-line trim. So new, this vehicle would cost you around $30,000 in this trim, optioned out the way it is. And in today's market, it's around $10,000 to $14,000, and this one's sitting right at about 169,000 miles, I believe. But with that, you will get 21 city and 28 highway, roughly, depending on how you drive. There is an eco button on these new ones, the new 2-liter motor. The eco button just helps out with acceleration a little bit, takes the turbo spool down, and doesn't eat the fuel as if you're in regular mode. And this 2013 Kia Sportage is featured in Twilight Blue with the 6-speed automatic transmission. It's a great transmission for these SUVs. It is pretty snappy if you get on it, and it's a pretty quick 0 to 60 time for this size of vehicle, in my opinion. You're getting a pretty good performing motor and transmission setup in this year with this motor. Feature-wise, it's kind of lacking technology-wise on the inside. That's just being a little bit nitpicky on my end, but we have lived with this since new in 2013. We lived with this car, and I'd like to see some better features for the year. But on the outside, you are getting body molded and colored mirrors. They are heated, and you do have your LED turn signal marking lights on the mirrors. In the XX trim, you do get the chrome around the doors and the windows, and you do get this pinstriping. Now, one thing I will say that with the SX trim and this pinstriping is that the pinstriping comes off super easy no matter what you do. If you take it through a touch car wash, automatic car wash, this will strip off. I guarantee you every single time that you go, this will have more sections missing. For the SX trim as well, you do get chrome trim around this. You do get your Sportage badge back here, and of course you get your SX and the GDI trim back here. And they do have these little roof rack rails up here. This was optioned out that you could get a full roof rack, and also you can see it has the panoramic glass sunroof that we'll look at on the inside. Also an option on these vehicles. Even if you ordered the SX, you would have to get the panoramic ordered extra. And you can see that the chrome accents travel around on both sides and on the door handles as well. And then the pinstriping carries through to the front, where you do have your HID headlights, and they will have LED daytime running or marker lights on the front. They are not LED high or low beam. And then your fog lights down bottom with the same chrome trim, followed with this black plastic fascia. And in the rear, you do have parking sensors as well as a rear view camera that we'll look at on the inside. In the front, you don't have parking sensors or anything like that. It's just in the rear. And you do have this nice chrome accented grille in the front with a gloss black top and bottom portion featured with this honeycomb style grille. It's all right. I don't necessarily like the honeycomb feature on any grille, really. When I got my Mustang, I actually did the Mach 1 Grill Delete, which got rid of the honeycomb. I think it's just kind of a tacky feature. But if we go inside here and look at the back, this is a push button unlocking hatch in the rear. It is not automatic up. That was not a feature yet in these years. But you do see that you have gas assisted struts in the back, as well as your rear camera here. And then you do have your lights for the license plate and such things like that. And on the inside here, you do get about 26 cubic feet with the seats up. As you can see, it's not that big of a space. And then with the seats down up to the front row seats, you do get 54.5, 54.6 with the seats down. What that means for you as an average everyday car user, if you're going shopping, let's say you have a family of 4 and you go shopping once a week, you get enough groceries for the week for your family of 4, this whole back will be completely taken up. I can attest to that. We go shopping once a week for our family on a Sunday, and you can't fit any more than your just 1 week of groceries in the back here. It's pretty minimal with the amount of space that you get. But you do get, in the SX trim, you can option to have the all-weather package, and the all-weather package will obviously get you the all-wheel drive, as well as these all-weather floor mats. You do get these in the cargo area, in the rear seat, and as well as in the front seat. And on the upper SX trim, you do get a 12-volt power outlet back here, as well as this little map light back here to shine in, as well as a subwoofer with the audio system. Now, if we come around to the back seats, in these rear seats, you do get a fairly decent little storage cubby there. You can see you can fit 2 bottles very comfortably. And then you do get this little storage cubby up here, followed in with these chrome accents from the outside. You do get a nice soft touch door trim around here with black leather and plastic, as well as your speaker and your power windows. For this car, it's power up and down for the driver's side and power down for the passenger side. Automatic windows, and then the rear are just power, no automatic there. And if you come inside here, it does carry over with the black leather seats in the rear. You do get a fold down armrest here. It does stop. It does not go all the way down, which is nice. It's still leather wrapped, soft touch material on the inside, and you do get 2 fairly big cup holders back here. As you can see, you do have storage pockets in the rear as well. And then these seats fold down fairly easy. You just pop the handle, and there you go. You're done. You can pop them back up. One thing I will say, you can see as these seat belts get stuck behind here every single time that you put the seat down. So that's just something that you have to watch for if you're putting the seats down and getting in and out fairly often. Another con, I will say, something that I would like to see back here, even in the higher end trim SX is fully loaded, you don't get any rear power outlets back here other than the one in the cargo area. So for your rear passengers, they don't get a USB, a 12-volt house outlet, nothing. You don't get anything back here, which is kind of a big deal. If you have a family, you're getting this SUV, and you have people in the back seat fairly often, they have nothing back here to charge their accessories, and they have to run off of the front. So with that being said, that's just one of the things that I find kind of annoying with this one. And then stepping up into the front, you do get a larger pocket up here than in the rear doors with a bottle holder in the front and then a little cubby behind. You do get that same little cubby up top here, followed around with the same leather and soft touch materials. And then you do get your speaker down bottom, plus a tweeter up top, same chrome trim, and you get your door locks and the power window up here. Like I said, this one is automatic down, but not up. And then following inside, you do get ventilated seats here. For the driver's side, it's cooled seat and heated. And this one with the perforated heated seat just for the passenger. You don't get cooled seat on the passenger side, just on the driver, which I kind of find a little funny and kind of negative in the same respect, because if you take the time to put a cooled seat for the driver, you might as well just put one for the passenger as well. Especially in a fully loaded $30,000 SUV, I think that would have been a nice option to have, but that's just me being picky. And as you can see, you do get the same all-weather floor mat down there as in the rear and in the cargo area. And then stepping inside here, you do get soft touch material, black leather wrapped up here, And then this is hard plastic here with your vents and another defrost up there. Now inside here, you do get your basic infotainment system. You do get your buttons for your climate control, and you do have actually standard buttons and knobs up here for, now you can see this is for your navigation. This is for your radio options here. You do get CD player up there, as well as Sirius XM and Bluetooth. And I'll go over this once I step into the other side. But it's just nice to see actual buttons and knobs in a car rather than just all on the touchscreen. Now, this is a 2013, like I said, so that was kind of before they started putting everything into the head units, climate control-wise. But you do see you have some chrome trim here and chrome trim around the climate zone shutoff, which is a nice feature to have to tie it in with the outside. And you do have two fairly large cup holders here, followed all around with these two grips on either side, and it's all hard plastic in here with the shift boot here, all followed around by hard plastic and the chrome trim. You do have your diff lock here with your power heated seat button here, and like I said, the driver's side is cooled and heated, and the passenger side is just heated. But you do have your 6-speed automatic transmission with a sport mode that you can shift on the fly if you want to, just however you want to do it. And then you do get a leather-wrapped soft touch armrest here, fairly large size, not too bad. And then a deep console here. In the console, you will have a USB towards the bottom. And then up top, you do have a 12-volt power outlet, aux in, and then USB with another 12-volt on the other side. One thing I will say about this is that the USB is not integrated for your phone in any means, but if you do have music on a USB drive, you can stick that in there and it will integrate right into the head unit. But it is not any way means for your phone. Like if you plug in your USB, it'll just charge, it won't play your music or anything like that. But it does have Bluetooth streaming for your phone and Bluetooth calling, plus hands-free on the steering wheel, and I'll step over to that side to show you that stuff in a little bit. But you do have a power dimming, auto dimming mirror here with your home link buttons and a power on off switch. And you do have your visors here that pop out. They do extend and swivel, and they do pop over. And then you actually have the option to turn on the light up here, which is a nice feature to have. And then you do have two map lights up here, plus a sunglass holder. And this is the button for your sunroof, which you can see folds back. You do have one here, and you do have the panoramic glass sunroof in the back. It does not carry over the whole way, which you'd like to see, but it does have a nice feature to let in some light in the rear as well as in the front. And then you do get the same visor over here as you did on the passenger side, and it does have the little extension in the side there. Plus, nice little dampened handles here. Let it go, they just go up on their own, nice and soft. They don't slam back into place. And then if we step over to the driver's side, you do have the same bottle holder and cubbies on this side, and this is where you'll get your main controls here. You will get your power window options here, your door locks. This is the power window lock that will shut off all of them, and even the passenger side, it's not just the rear. And then you do have your power mirror options here, and this button will actually fold in your mirrors, like you can see, which is a nice feature to have. That did come in the SX trim. Again, optioned heated mirrors in this trim were also an option, which you think would come standard in the higher all-weather package, but it is what it is. You do have a standard emergency brake down here. I'm not going to make the mistake like I did in the F-150 review of saying emergency brake 4 times, but it is a standard brake down here that you push on, push off, no problem. As you can see here, coming along this side, you do have your parking sensor button that you can turn it off when you're in reverse, interior illumination, and this is that eco button I was talking about earlier that will help with your shifting and acceleration and gas mileage. And then this button here is hill descent control, and then you do have your traction control button as well. Stepping in, you do have a nice leather wrapped steering wheel, nice chrome badge in the front there with this nice faux chrome down here that will play host to your hands-free calling buttons. This is the hands-free radio button. You just press that and say a command, and then you do have cruise control buttons up here, your radio buttons on this side, and then on this side is all your light controls, fog light, automatic lights, everything that you want there is all on that stock. And then on this one is obviously windshield wipers and everything like that. You do have a rear windshield wiper that you can control from there as well. But nice soft touch all the way up there. This is hard plastic around the bezel for the gauges. And then for the gauges, you will see them come on. They do light up very nice. They're a nice set of gauges there, very well lit. You can see this one does have 163,000 miles on the speedometer. And then you do get your standard gauges, which is going to be your tach. You do have your speedometer with the center cluster that gives you vehicle information. And on this side, you do have coolant and your fuel. But if we go ahead and turn this on, it says push button start. Just put your foot on the brake, start it, go ahead, no problem. And then you can see in that center portion there, your vehicle information. All you have to do is press this trip button on the side, and you can go through your different settings for there, whatever you want to have up top there. You can see your MPG there. This one is getting 24.9, but that was mainly a highway travel today, so you're getting right in between their estimate on there. You got to remember this is 163,000 miles, so you can't expect to see the full average. And then you have an instant MPG there to keep a control on your MPG as you're driving. And then miles per hour, elapsed time for the vehicle, and then you get back again to your temperature. And if we do come over here to the infotainment system, you can see that we're inside, so it's not going to find the XM channel, but you do have Sirius XM. You can go through and set all your presets, and if you click the satellite button for satellite radio, it will go through all of your presets. You do get 3 of them, and then you just go through, and then you have your category button and seeking channels on here that you can use the buttons on the side as well, but it is all touchscreen. You do have AM FM that you can set the same presets. And again, you have AM FM. You get 2 preset channels for FM, 1 for AM. And if you click media, it'll bring up, if you have a Bluetooth phone connected, that's where that will pop up for media, and you can stream your music and stuff from there. And then let's go back to this, and you can see that you have scan and sound. And then if we click phone, you see it's trying to connect to my iPhone right now. I don't want to do that, so we'll click cancel. And then in your features here, just click English and agree. You can set that. This is where all your stuff will come up for all of your settings and stuff. And the display has all of these features on it. And this I find very helpful at night, because this is very bright. Even with the brightness down, you can turn off the display, no problem. And then if you change channels or anything or touch it, it'll come back on right away for you. And then if we click destination, you'll see that your navigation unit starts to come up here. This will, you have kind of like the presets for the radio you can do on here too, if you have favorites or if you just want to set your home. And then if you sync your phone to this, you can actually put your phone's address book in here, and that'll all pop up for you when you're doing that. And then we click route, and this will show you when you're going on your actual trip, all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in there. You can see here, you can zoom in and zoom out. One thing I will say about this whole radio as a whole, the touchscreen is not very sensitive. I mean, you can bang on this thing sometimes and it will not register where it's supposed to. There's often times that if I'm in the setup menu, for instance, and I'm clicking display, it'll click up here at main, and you're going through a bunch of different stuff that you didn't want to click on. It is a known issue with these infotainment systems, and they did fix them in the future vehicles when they move to a new system, but that is one thing to watch out for if you get this vehicle. And then if we go back, like I said, you do have all your buttons here, and you do have the
command, please.
Say a command, just cancel it, no problem, works great. But overall, it is a very, very nice vehicle for what it is. You do get a lot of features inside and out. There are some features that I would like to see, like iPod integration for 2013. You think that would be a pretty standard feature. But you have Bluetooth integration, so it gives you what you need. And then if you come out and we take a look at the key here, you do have your standard keyless entry system plus panic. And you see here it says hold. The power tailgate was an option. You almost never find them in this. Even with, like, this is the most maxed out trim you can get with almost every feature humanly possible. You almost never find the power liftgate in these models. With the Sorento, the larger vehicle, you saw them more often, but in this one, it really wasn't an option that a lot of people optioned for. And this actually did not come standard, even with all the options or the trims, with remote start. Again, for 2013, that's something I would like to see. Me and my father actually did put a remote start system on here that was designed for this vehicle by a different aftermarket company. And for that instance, you just press the lock button 3 times, and then it'll come up and start. Once it's all locked, I do have the one rear hatch still open yet, so it won't start. But it is an option for you if you want to go the aftermarket route. Like I said, I can't knock this vehicle overall because it has gotten us through a lot of years. And with Kia being Kia, they did offer the 100,000 mile warranty, which was kind of cutting edge and leading in its territory at that time. So, I mean, good for them with the 100,000 mile warranty. One thing I will say, though, is that there was a lot of recalls for this vehicle, and a lot of major recalls at that. I know we had to take this vehicle back and actually get a whole new long block motor for it because there was an issue with that. My dad actually blew 2 turbos out of this vehicle within the first year of having it, which was a known issue with this new motor setup. Like I said, it was all replaced under warranty, but it is something to look out for. If you look at secondhand market, if they have a free car check or Carfax or anything like that, make sure you go in there and see if it had the recall work done, or if your vehicle that you're looking at actually had the recalls issued. So that's something that you definitely want to look at if you're going to go look at one of these vehicles or check them out. And you do see that this is the Turbo GDI. This is the inline 4-cylinder 2-liter motor. It's a good platform for this vehicle. It provides nice snappy torque and a good 0 to 60 time, in my opinion, for an SUV. And one thing I will say, though, because of the motor issues that they had, not so much after we got it replaced under warranty, but before, it did eat a little bit of oil. That's why you saw on the driver's side that my dad actually carries around a quart of oil with him. But like I said, just make sure you check all that stuff out in your Carfax. And that's my review for this 2013 Kia Sportage in the SX trim with the 2-liter 4-cylinder motor. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me feedback in the comments. Please, it helps me out tremendously.